From eTown Hall in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, it's eTown with this week's guest. From Paris, France, now living in Austin, Texas, Theo Lawrence. Immigration attorney Tiago Guevara. And currently living in New Orleans, the one and only Rickie Lee Jones. I'm Nick Forster. Join me now in welcoming our host, Nick Forster.
Thank you, Helen. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to eTown Hall. We have a full plate for you, a veritable feast with some international flair and a lot of good stuff. Originally from France, one of our guests this week is Theo Lawrence. He has somehow, in Paris, he cracked the code on classic country music. And he now writes, sings, and plays songs that sound like classics. It's really cool. He now lives in Austin, but he's here. Tiago Guevara is an immigration attorney, and he's going to tell us about the process of liberating a legal Afghan refugee who was put in prison after he was picked up by ICE while being a fully sanctioned commercial truck driver here in the States. So he had to go through that whole thing, but he's here to tell us about that. And right now we are very happy to welcome back our first guest. She is a restless and inspiring creative spirit. She's always reinventing, expanding, exploring ways to express what she feels as a singer and as a writer. As you know, she kind of burst onto the scene in the late 70s with her first record, and she had a bunch of hit songs. She has kept us guessing ever since, kind of waiting to see what her next project was going to offer. Sometimes it's more sparse acoustic, or maybe it's turntables and beats, or collaborations and covers, but it all sounds just like her. Her latest record, her 15th album, is a reunion with her first producer and a beautiful collection of jazz standards. She is also an author whose autobiography and family history, Last Chance Texaco, is a page-turner. Remarkable story filled with all kinds of stories, lots of heart and curiosity and determination in there. Anyway, she is really remarkable, and we're just happy that she's been able to be a part of our story here at eTown almost since we first started. Please welcome back to eTown, Rickie Lee Jones.
Hey.
What's the matter with it? What's it trying to say? What's the matter with it? I just saw it yesterday. What's it? Oh, it's back. Where's it trying to go? A mystical vision got dressed up one night, locked the door, walked through the misty porch light. It was headed over to somebody's house for an occasion long awaited. And as it crossed the road, that was Vista Del Mar, the big black car with no license plate. Hey, a lot of masked men, and now the future not arrived yet. Moonlight on the hill, and it lights up roadkill. Moonlight on the hill, lights up roadkill. The police came, the neighbors came, they tried to pick it up off the road. Meanwhile, across town, there's somebody waiting for the future to dawn bright against the nighttime sky. Moonlight on the hill, and it lights up. Moonlight on the hill, and it lights up the future. What's the matter with it? What you trying to say? What's the matter with it? Hey, why won't it just go away? What's the matter with it? Somebody go close its eyes. What's the matter with it? And who are those guys? What's the matter with it? What's the matter with it? Yeah. What's the matter with it? Yeah, yeah. Moonlight on the the future. Roadkill. And who are those guys? So that was a song from Ghost he had, I think, which was my biggest not-selling record next to the Sermon on Exposition Boulevard. So I started writing this just before COVID, and I, even though I didn't have a 9-to-5 job, COVID kind of stopped me as well. So I'm picking up the thread of writing and gonna record soon. This is one of the new songs. It's called Patience and Kindness. I got a neighbor who walks by the house every day, but he never looks at me. In fact, I think he looks away. Round here we're friendly, we like to lend a hand. Well, I worry if he's alright, maybe he just can't understand that I just won't give up on not giving up on today. Well, a smile goes a long way towards saying hello. Just throw a couple out there, see how far they go, coming back for you. On your darkest night, that neighbor knocking on your door, calling, are you alright? 'Cause he just won't give up on not giving up on today. 'Cause patience and kindness go a long way to heal a broken heart. If you push and shove when I come in close, you're ashamed of a terrible past. How high is the mountain difficult part, yeah. I tell myself I'm lucky that I made it out of there alive. A lot of people never do. A lot of mamas prayed and cried. Now in the morning I look out at my life and I hope I'm not living in the past. And I hope that the shadow that I cast will never be too dark that I can't reach out my hand with some patience, kindness, go a long way to heal a broken heart. If you push and shove when I come in close, you're ashamed of a terrible past. If you push and shove when I come in close, you're ashamed of a terrible past. Just ashamed of a terrible past. Yeah.
Rickie Lee Jones, good to see you. Welcome back.
I'm glad to be back. I'm
Yeah.
glad eTown is still going strong.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but I think it was 33 years ago when we first did this. But I will say that one thing that is different for me having you here now is that I read your book.
Oh, yeah.
And so you kind of let me and a lot of people in on a whole bunch of secrets like I never knew about your parents and your family and your history and your childhood and all this stuff.
I think when you're going to read an autobiography, the last thing you think you want to do is read about their relatives, right? But I had a most incredible family history, and it helps inform why I do what I do, I think.
Yeah, and there was parts of it that were really heartbreaking about just the dysfunction in your family and the nature of your youth and some of the dumb things you did when you were a kid and like
So dumb.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think one of the things you also allude to in the book is that you looked older than you were.
Yeah.
So you got into trouble sooner than many.
Boobs.
Boobs, yeah.
Boobs. Boobs are a big, have compassion for young girls with boobs. Because I remember my daughter started developing really young, like at 9. And she came home one day crying. God, and a man looked at me and, sorry, compose yourself. But you don't realize how you catapult a child into a future they did not plan, they didn't want to go in. But when people start treating you sexually before you are sexual, you'll find yourself in some pretty dangerous situations. I did anyway.
Yeah, you did.
There was this one thing I want to say, though. It's important because it's so simple to vilify people. It's what we do. They're good or they're bad, right? It's religious. But that's not the truth. People make terrible decisions, and then they also do wonderful things. And that's what's so confusing and difficult about childhood or anything else. My parents did what? And they were also very loving people, so I don't see them as bad.
No, I mean, you ran away with your boyfriend in a stolen car and tried to steal gas from a gas station, and then you did all this wonderful stuff.
So much wonderful stuff. That's a good story, too.
Yeah, that's a good story. There's so many. But I will say, not to harp on the boobs issue, but your new record, Pieces of Treasure.
Boobs, yeah.
That was your first photo session.
It was.
And it came right at the very end of the time when you were essentially homeless, down on your luck, couldn't keep a job, were just about to give up. And apparently some guy said, "I'll be your manager."
My old next door neighbor, yeah, that's his hand reaching over into the boobs. So I was trying to kind of depict the songs I'd written, and that one was kind of like Easy Money, and I had this cool 50s bathing suit. And, you know, my body was my body. I didn't really know how it looked. Yes, I did know how it looked when I put it on the cover, but I thought it's cool to be sexy, right? 22, you want to look sexy. And so I had him putting money in the
Cleavage.
Cleavage.
Yeah. Not that I know.
But
I'm just
to
saying.
be honest, you
Not
know,
a lot of
as
experience.
time has gone by and I've looked at that cover, I think I might put a different cover on today. Even
what?
though I love the picture.
Yeah, it's an honest moment. You know, it's capturing an honest moment, and
Yeah.
and whatever it is. And the record is great, by the way.
Thank
so
you.
pretty cool.
Thank you.
I have to imagine that there is something very satisfying in this grand old dame or whatever you call yourself stage, where you still get to travel around and you get to connect with an audience, and you're feeling those people want to connect with you.
Yeah. About 10 years ago, I was standing backstage and waiting to go on, and I had a revelation. This is it. This is what I would pass on if I could teach. This one thing. All the audience out there, they didn't come to judge you. They came to be loved by you. All you have to do is walk out and open your arms and love them back. And before you do that, you think it's about them judging you like a beauty contest. Am I pretty enough? Am I rough enough? Am I good? But at some point you have to realize that people come for music because it heals them. And that's the amazing job that we have a lot of fun singing, but we're aware that you feel good listening, and what a great job, right?
Yeah.
So remember, that's why you're up there, to give them love.
It's a big circle. Yeah. You are such a hippie, just an old desert
totally
hippie.
am.
Yeah.
They got me early.
Yeah. Listen, I really was happy learning more in reading your book and in just getting more of the story. But it's always good to hang out with you and play music with you. I'm glad you're here. Let's hear some more music.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Welcome back, Rickie Lee Jones.
Anyway, this was no game of chicken. You were aiming at your best friend. A switchblade on a chain around your neck, just like the one you got in Mexico from your dad. So your daddy on the booze, and then your Brando on the ice, and your deed in the doorway with one more way. You won't play this scene twice. Drug her down every drag of your forbidden fit of love, and then you told her to stand tall. When you kissed her, you said, "Come on, baby, I'm your man." How would I darling, would not get sucked into a scene so custom tucked? Look who shows up here in the same place. It's like in this case, it's better to face it, 'cause we belong together. We Johnny the King, he made a spit ring, and all the skid kids saw a very proud man. As he entwined her in his fingers, they laid there like a baby in his hands. Climb his jacket across her and he hugs her and he holds her on his knees. But the sailor takes her abroad to the dark and at the fair, maybe turn her into a tattoo that whispers now into the back of Johnny's black hair. So that Johnny the King walks these streets without her in the rain, looking for the leather jacket or the girl who wrote her name forever. 'Cause we belong together. Shall we wail on these streets, young lions of the lamb? All those signs in your, would you turn them on and kneel now for them? You know, I know they are fools, and they're victims of sailors and ducky boys that move into us year by year. We wake up one day, we are sailors. We are ducky boys. I say, Bird, we have to tell them, and they just turn and ignore us. And the only heroes we have are written down before us, and the only angel who sees us is watching through each other's eyes. Where in every footstep passing sight, she goes crazy these nights, watching heartbeats go by. And they whispered, we belong together. We belong together. We belong together. But we belong together. Yeah.
That's Rickie Lee Jones. Latest record called Pieces of Treasure. She had a little help also from the eTones, Christian Teal, Adam Bodine, Eric Tureen, Justin Hoppenberg, and Helen Forster. She'll be back. Play some more music later on.
Your visit to eTown is made possible with support from the Sage Foundation, the Cielo Foundation, the Scintilla Foundation, the City of Boulder's Office of Arts and Culture, and our members, our citizens, and our listeners like you. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. You're listening to eTown. Rickie Lee Jones, as I mentioned, is going to be back, play some more music later on. And coming up, we've got Theo Lawrence. He's a remarkable Frenchman who writes and sings modern classic country songs. He's awfully good, and he's going to be out in a little while. First, I want to tell you about a local story, but it's something that is happening across the country. When U.S. forces were in Afghanistan, there were Afghan natives who supported the American troops in many ways, some directly fighting side by side with soldiers, some indirectly providing transport or security or intelligence. And when the Taliban reclaimed power, those Afghans who helped us were in danger. And one of those Afghan soldiers who supported the Americans is named Muhammad Ali Dadfar. And he managed to escape Afghanistan through Iran and then Brazil, and he found his way to the southern border of the United States. He applied for asylum, and we let him in, as we should have. Anyway, he was picked up not long ago in Indiana by ICE, and he was sent to a jail in Missouri. Didn't commit a crime, didn't do anything wrong. He was playing by the books, and this individual lives outside of Boulder with his wife and 4 kids. And so we actually reached out to the attorney who helped him get out of jail. And we asked his lawyer, Tiago Guevara, to tell us more, and he's here. So we please welcome to eTown immigration attorney Tiago Guevara. Welcome to eTown. One of our Colorado congressmen is Jason Crow. He's a former Army Ranger who served in Afghanistan. About this particular case that you were working on, he said that it's possible that he wouldn't be here were it not for the support the Afghan natives gave him and his fellow Americans during their combat tours.
Yeah, I think it's so important to recognize that for a lot of folks like Muhammad, they weren't thinking about coming to America. America came to them. It was only once we left there that we created such a mess that they had to leave because of their association with our government.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that Mr. Dadfar and his family, which is a family of 6 with 4 small children, they were granted something called humanitarian parole, which means that our government said, you're not a dangerous person, you're not a flight risk, come on in, apply for a work permit, and pursue your asylum claim the right way. And the government said that that promise was valid at least until mid-2026. But instead of honoring that promise, he was entrapped at a way station while he was lawfully working, and then he was kidnapped by ICE and taken to another state.
Yeah. And he obviously had a commercial driver's license, and he had, proof of the process that he was in the midst of. So it just doesn't matter what your paperwork is, or how does it work?
I think a lot of people are wondering what the status of the rule of law is in this country now. Mr. Dadfar informed the ICE officer that was detaining him what his situation was. At that point, there was no legal basis to detain him, but they detained him anyway because they could, as a practical matter, even if they couldn't as a legal matter.
How did he approach you, or is this something you do to people know that they can call you under these kinds of circumstances? Or
I connected with Muhammad through a faith-based organization that arranged his representation here in Colorado. So I am helping him fight his asylum case.
Yeah.
Right now, he's allowed to be here, but only temporarily while he's fighting his case. If he wins his case, he'll be able to stay here in the long term and potentially even permanently. But as I mentioned earlier, he was detained and hauled away several states away. Our clients can't afford to fly us out, so we connected through the American Immigration Lawyers Association with an attorney in Missouri, and we coordinated the filing of a petition to get him out.
Yeah. Do the rules change from state to state? Are there certain states that are like what his status is would be more acceptable than in other states?
Yes and no. The federal immigration laws don't change from state to state, but in order to get those laws enforced, sometimes you have to go outside the immigration system. The immigration courts are not, the technical term is Article 3 courts. So they're not part of the judicial branch. They're part of a political branch, which explains a lot of what we see in immigration land.
Yeah.
But the district courts, which is where you go sue the government when they're not following their own rules, those are from the judicial branch, and that is what we had to do in this case to be able to get him out.
Yeah. Do you see any kind of change or any kind of transition in the future that you're encouraged by in any way?
I'm sad to say no. I think if we really want to make a change in the immigration system to make it more just, we can all agree that no court should be a political arm of the government that's subject to, from administration to administration, just complete whiplash.
Yeah, follow the laws and respect the Constitution.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, anyway, this is a temporary, happy chapter, in that Muhammad was released from prison and he's back with his family and he's awaiting next steps, thanks to your efforts. If people want to learn more about the kinds of things that you're doing or other immigration lawyers are doing, is there a organization or a website or anything that if anybody wants to learn more, that where they can go and see what's going on?
The Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition, the Rocky Mountain Immigrant Advocacy Network, the Colorado Rapid Response Network, Colorado Asylum Committee, faith organizations. If you speak another language, like I said, if you have time or money, you can do something about it.
Yeah. This story seems abstract to so many of us. We hear about this happening to other people in cities around the country, but this was close to home. And I appreciate you just sort of making it personal and making it real for us, because it's something that should not have happened. It should never happen. And I'm glad that it's at least progressing in the courts. Thanks for being here.
Thanks very much. My pleasure.
Tiago Guevara, immigration attorney. Thanks so much. We are going to get more music from Rickie Lee Jones in a little while, but right now I'm going to tell you about our next guest. Theo Lawrence is from France. He grew up in Paris. And as a kid, he listened to classic rock music, the Rolling Stones and Kinks and Beatles. He watched the Woodstock movie with his dad. He never found his musical passion, though, until he started listening to classic country music. Singers like Jim Reeves and Hank Williams and Loretta Lynn and Carl Smith. And through them, he found the music that turned him on. He began writing songs, putting bands together, which in Paris was tough, until he found this guy, Thibaut Ripoux, who was equally smitten and could really play all the guitar parts. So they went out and made a band. And in 1999, the two of them went to Austin to check it out. They were there for a month, and they both found their spot. Please help me welcome for his first visit to eTown, Theo Lawrence.
All right. Hello, everybody. Well, I wrote this next song after my first trip to California, because I'm from Paris, France, so it was my first time going there, and I learned about the PCH, the Pacific Coastal Highway, and the California poppies that grew on the side of the road. So I wrote a song with those two things combined, and I made up a little story, and I've been singing it for years, and I love it. All right.
Don't pick up strangers on the road. As a little boy, I was told, but I could never, ever listen. I was en route to Monterey, and she was heading the same way, all aboard my Silverado. She was a California poppy of the PCH, blooming on the roadside, a hitching and a thumbing and a bumming a ride, and a golden ray of sunshine. She was a hipster from the town, smoking reefer by the pound, and her ways were kinda groovy. She kept her shades on for the ride. Now there was something she was trying to hide, but I couldn't put my finger on it. She was a California poppy of the PCH, blooming on the roadside, a hitching and a thumbing and a bumming a ride, and a golden ray of sunshine. We made a stop at a service station for a little bit of relaxation. and a little bit of gasoline. She stole my keys and then she rode away, and for the gas I had to pay. So I wrote this little song about it. It's called the California Poppy of the PCH, blooming on the roadside, a hitching and a thumbing and a bumming a ride, and a golden ray of sunshine is the California Poppy of the PCH, blooming on the roadside, a hitching, a thumbing and a bumming a ride, and a golden ray of sunshine, and a golden ray of sunshine.
Thank you very much.
I could love you just the way that I used to love when I was a child, surely would. I could trust you like a true believer, but this part of me is gone for good. Sherry, how I long to be yours again, like the past never happened at all. Sherry, I'm reaching for your hand, yet my love's colder than a prison wall. Once I played in the morning with a smile on my face. Days were so tender and true. If all my troubles could turn into little marbles, well, I would be forever, never blue. Sherry, how I long to be yours again, like the past never happened at all. Sherry, I'm reaching for your hand, yet my love's colder than a prison wall. Never happened at all. Sherry, I'm reaching for your hand, yet my love's colder than a prison wall. Yes, my love's colder than a prison wall.
Thank you very much.
Theo Lawrence, welcome to eTown.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love the story of just you finding what you were passionate about in Paris after listening to a lot of music. Are your parents musical?
Yeah, they're kind of rock and rollers, but I didn't grow up around country music at all. You know, in Paris, quite the opposite. when I first bought my first like country record I ever found in a record store, I put it in my room, and it was a Loretta Lynn record. And my mother just came into my room, and she was like, "What's that mellow crap you're listening to?" You know, because I grew up on the Stooges and the MC5 and stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to, you know, rebel against my parents. So I wanted to listen to the natural sounds.
Was there one like moment where you just like, oh man, that's it? Or was it just a gradual process?
It was very gradual, very long way. I came about it through rock and roll and rock bands. I was deep into the Rolling Stones and the Kinks and stuff like that. And all these guys would cover older blues music, or even, you know, listening to the Rolling Stones, I got acquainted with soul music.
Yeah.
So through the rock bands of the 60s, I got to discover all the stuff. And then every time I would really, really connect to a song, I noticed that oftentimes those songs were kind of country at their core. And so there's something that struck with me in the songwriting style, and I kind of gravitated towards that.
Did your school classmates think you were a weirdo?
Yes, but I think I mean definitely I was like, I enjoyed you know, annoying my people, and being a little different. It's kind of fun sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you put a band together in Paris that's playing traditional country music, you would stand out a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to stand out from my parents, stand out from my friends. So I started playing country music, but it was hard. Man, it was hard to find some people who wanted to play that uncompromisingly.
Yeah. And you found Thibaut.
Yeah, I found Thibaut. Thibaut is a guitar player in France, and he's about my age. And we met, and we really hit it off, and he knew about all the stuff that I was into, and even way more, so he showed me a lot of stuff too.
And it was you and Thibaut who decided to go in 1999 to Austin and spend a month and just check it out, right?
2019.
Oh, 2019.
What was the...
Oh, yeah. 99, 2019.
But
a decade
right.
era there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're old. Yeah.
I
What
wish
year were you born?
I was back then. I was born in 95.
95, yeah.
But and he had been coming to Austin for a long time, because Austin is the laugh capital of music of the world. And so he would go there months at a time and just kind of soak up the scene. And one day he told me, you should come. And so we did that. And then I was hooked, and I just found out, try to find a way to move to Austin. So that's where I've been living for.
And you're surrounded by people your own age who get it, who understand the things that you're passionate about, and are writing songs.
Yes, I'm not alone anymore.
Yeah. And I noticed that you're going to be out much of 2026 with Alison Krauss and Jerry Douglas, and you being on the road opening for her.
Yeah.
Like a lot, months.
A lot. Yeah,
months.
71 shows.
71 shows.
So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And well, we're excited. We're excited to have you here. We're excited to hear your songs. We've been really enjoying your singing and just the way you approach and write these songs that sound like they've been around a long time, which is hard to do.
Thank you.
Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose que tu veux dire pour la famille ou les amis en France?
À la prochaine.
Prochaine, okay.
See y'all next time.
Yeah.
In French. I'm saying this to the French people out there in France. See y'all later.
Well, let's get back to music, if you would. Welcome back, Theo Lawrence. Glad, man.
Well, this is one I wrote in my little apartment in Bordeaux, France. It's called Pretty Bird, and it's about kind of growing old and the different seasons of life.
This is a very old banjo I'm playing, too.
Oh, yeah. This is a really old banjo. Beautiful.
1860, I think, is when this one comes from, yeah.
Which is about when I came to Austin.
Yeah.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
In the springtime of my youth, when she came like a pretty bird, whistling in the garden of my heart. Like two eggs in a basket spun from a pretty bird, I built her a love nest in my heart. The pretty bird is softly singing, the roost, the crows high and low. She used to roost by my window till the fateful day she had to go. It's the summer of my days, I have seen lots of pretty birds, but women were given wings to fly. Don't you think I've forgotten the sound of the pretty words, as dear as my mother's lullaby? The pretty bird is softly singing, the roost, the crows high and low. She used to roost by my window till the fateful day she had to go. Hit the winter of my life when I walk past a pretty bird. If you see a twinkle in my eye, don't you think I'm chasing after the pretty girls? I'm missing my birdie in the sky. The pretty bird is softly singing, the roost, the crows high and low. She used to roost by my window till the fateful day she had to go. Till the fateful day she had to go. Till the fateful day she had to go. Thank you very much.
That's Theo Lawrence. Originally from Paris, France, now living in Austin, Texas. He's signed to Warner Brothers Records, along with eTown's Christian Teal, Adam Bodine, Eric Tureen, Justin Hoffenberg on the fiddle, and Helen Forster. Theo Lawrence.
Your visit to eTown is made possible in part by the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, or SCFD, one of the largest cultural funding mechanisms in the United States, supporting nearly 300 organizations in the greater Denver, Colorado area. You're listening to eTown.
Nick Forster, you are listening to eTown. I want to say hello to our stations, people who are listening on right now on stations like KRVS down in Lafayette, Louisiana. Thanks for tuning in. On WQKL in Ann Arbor, Michigan, thanks for listening. And on KTSN, Sun Radio down in Austin, Texas. Thanks for listening to eTown. As always, if you want more information about any of our guests, you want to find out how to get tickets to live shows, if you want to see exactly what everybody looks like on this show, that's all on the web at etown.org. You can find out all kinds of stuff. There's a gazillion videos on YouTube. You can subscribe to all of our various social media efforts that some people enjoy. Meanwhile, thanks for listening. And, you know, it's kind of amazing getting to hear Theo Lawrence bring his French perspective to classic American songs. I'm also so grateful to Tiago Guevara for defending the Constitution and helping legal immigrants continue on their pathway. for citizenship in this country. And I'm especially happy to welcome back one of the most original voices in American popular music, Rickie Lee Jones.
So this is another one from the 2001 or 2 record. This is called Tell Somebody What's Happening in the USA. Not long ago, life here was alright. There were no bad dreams that kept us up at night. It was not brother against a brother. It was not mother against mother. But you've got to tell somebody, tell somebody, tell somebody what is happening in the USA. Now they want everybody to just get in line behind the president. But you know they spent millions and millions and millions of dollars trying to discredit and fire everybody from the other side, if you know what I mean. Tell somebody. Got to tell somebody. Tell somebody what is happening in the USA. Tell somebody. Tell somebody. Tell somebody. Tell somebody what is happening in the USA. Well, I want to know how far you prepared to go to protect our right to free speech, you know, 'cause it only took a little moment before it faded out of reach. Yeah, come on, man, you got to tell somebody. Radio Free America. Tell somebody. You got to tell somebody what is happening in the USA. Tell somebody. Tell somebody. Tell somebody what happened in the USA. When they ask you, you've got to tell them what happened. Tell it all over the world. You know the depth of a democracy is only as the citizens who protest and are protected of their right to protest. You know what I mean? Nobody gonna come and take you away. Tell somebody what's happening in the USA. Oh my Lord, what is happening in the USA?
That's Rickie Lee Jones, along with the eTones, Helen. So good. We've got time for one more song. We're going to get everybody out on stage and do another song. And this is one that it's got a chorus that you know, and we're going to welcome you into this song to be a part of it. I want to thank all our guests. Thanks to Theo Lawrence, coming from Austin, originally from Paris. Fresh take on country music. Thanks again to the eTones and Helen Forster. Tiago Guevara, our attorney, helping to defend the rule of law. Tiago, thank you for being here. Thanks to Rickie Lee Jones. We're going to play one more song, and I'm Nick Forster. Hope you can be with us next week right here in eTown.
It's a lesson too late for the learning, made of sand, made of sand. In the wink of an eye, my soul is turning in your hand, in your hand. Are you going away with no words of farewell? There be not a trace left behind. I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You got plenty of reasons for going. This I know, this I know. For the weeds have been steadily growing. Please don't go, please don't go. Are you going away with no words of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind.
As I lie in my bed in the morning, without you, without you, every song in my breast dies a-burning. Without you, without you. Are you going away with no words of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind.
This is a production of eTown.